Good evening, noon, and night. You're watching Cwisp's Adventures. As always, I am your host, Cwisp. And today's episode, Dave Ramsey made me quit my job? ? And here is what the dealio is, y'all. I live in what we call a two-income town. In my town, we have a university, and we are also the prison hub for my state. And I gave the prison probably 5 years of my life while completing my college degree. So, I had to make a choice. Do I want to continue working for said prison and make pennies on the dollar, or do I want to do something where I'm actually going to make money? So I sat down and I said, what can I do in the next 180 days to make a respectable salary? Now, what are we defining as respectable? Well, for me personally, a respectable salary is going to be 60 grand or above. That is what I need to make to not only make sure my bills are paid, but also to make sure that we start our baby steps. Whether or not you like Dave Ramsey, dead is dumb and cash is king. And we'll go into that a little bit later when we bring Kaylee Saves Money on here. But in the meantime, let's talk about why I chose Prime Inc., also known as Prime Incorporated, because that is what Inc. is short for. Prime Inc. I sat down and I said, okay, getting my CDL fits the requirement of what can I do in the next 6 months to actually start making a decent salary. Now, there were three, count them, 1, 2, 3, there were three requirements. Requirement number 1, safety. I have to know that if I call dispatch and I say, hey, it's not safe to roll, there's a spin-up cell, or, the traffic's really bad, I'm shutting it down, I don't need a dispatcher or a FM who's going to say, no, you need to run that truck, ignore, you're not the captain of the ship, we're going to tell you how to drive. Nope, not doing that one. So that was requirement number 1. Does dispatch or your fleet manager trust you to run your truck? Requirement numero 2. I have a family. I have a wonderful wife and 2 lovely boys, and I would like to see them. And as we all know, certain companies, especially in the mega circle, don't really care about that. And while Prime may not be the quote-unquote best at home time, they are transparent and upfront about it. And by the way, this is all through the lens of me being a company driver. I am not going straight lease up when I get there. So, I would like to be home, with a decent home time. So, while Prime may not be the quote-unquote best at it, they are transparent and they're fair about it, Every 7 days, you get 24 hours to go home. And transparency is something that I really do enjoy, and Mr. Lowe has definitely incorporated that into his business structure. And number trace. Also dry in German, I think. I want to make money. And I have a mountain of debt to slog through. Well, I should say we, right? Marriage, we, not I. Because nothing is ever I when you're married, FYI. Is Prime the top paying dollar? Are they the most paid drivers? No. Are they up there? Yeah. And like Travis Kinley said in one of his videos not too long ago, if you are going to Prime, it's not just about the money. And people seem to not understand that. I have been part of driver lineup, Eric and Jenna, their Discord for almost 2 or 3 months now. And it's not just about the money. There are benefits to being at Prime that can influence your finances while not being about what your bottom line is on your line haul or on your paycheck. So those are the 3 reasons as to why I chose Prime. Bam! Magic time skip. This is Kaylee Says Money.
What do you want me to say?
That's what she does. Follow her on TikTok if you want to learn how to save thousands of dollars. The last 2 Christmases, we paid nothing out of pocket for Santa or our gifts. Alright, so what are your fears about me being gone for weeks at a time?
You dying.
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be more?
Well, like, are you worried about having to be a single mom, or...
I'm already a single mom.
She's got those clapbacks.
Uh-huh.
What do you think it'll look like, your daily home life while I'm on the road?
Kind of a lot of the same things that I do now. Except for I can't do things at night because you won't be here.
Are you looking forward to me being gone?
How many days until I can party?
As of this recording, it's Wednesday, and I leave on Sunday.
Oh, I just felt like... We've never been a long-distance couple. You ever had a long-distance relationship?
Yes.
And how was that?
It worked-ish.
But you didn't have kids with them.
No.
And how old were you? Like 15?
Yeah, I was a teenager.
No, we're not exactly teenagers anymore. We're going on 27 this year.
Yeah. So, do you remember how much debt we're in?
No, but it's a lot. Like 300,000.
God. She's not far off. It's $225,000. Let me say that again. $225,000. You could buy a brand new luxury sleeper for the amount of debt we're in. And what kind of debt are we in?
Couldn't you buy like a... What was those fancy cars?
Like a sports car?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy like
2 of them.
Like a Rolls Royce or something, yeah.
Like a brand new one, like a 2022.
And what is the majority of that debt, honey?
Isn't all of it student debt?
80% of it is student loans. If you take out a student loan to go to school, you are dumb. Education is not dumb, but going to debt for it is.
Depending on what education you go into. Because if you're doing like a doctorate degree, you actually get through the doctorate, like a doctor, you make a lot of money, but not engineering like you.
Yeah. So
And
she holds 2 degrees. Her first bachelor's is criminal justice and homeland security, and her second one is foreign languages with a concentration in Spanish. And then mine is agricultural engineering and technology. So it's not like we went and got a degree in German polka dot history. You got any other thoughts?
Well, I can get used to the sleeping without you because you used to work third shift.
Yeah, that sucked.
Things I had to get used to mainly is not being able to fall back on you when I need to go couponing at nighttime or getting away from the kids.
What about the smaller things? I think that's what you're going to find annoying, like when the lights go out, because we have smart lights and they like to disconnect all the time. Or like if you have to get your blinker changed, right? I know you don't want to do that, so you're going to have to take it to Steve's.
Yeah. Or I could just wait until you go home, because I won't ever be out.
That's how you get a ticket.
Yeah, like, they can't really enforce the ticket.
So aside from the couponing, tell the world what you do.
What do I do?
What do you do for your main source of income at the moment?
I don't know. I do DoorDash and Instacart, and I do Walmart delivery.
And there's a couple other things I think in there too, like Favor and Point Pickup.
Yeah, but Walmart deliveries is Point Pickup.
And what was your highest earning month in the last 12 months?
Highest earning month or week?
Month.
Well, in March, March, April, and May, we were bringing in like 6,000 to 6,500 a month just in that.
Yep.
And I was also doing baseball at the time.
You were taking the kids to baseball.
Yeah, well, the kids were going to baseball and doing games and all that, and I still made how much.
So $225,000 in debt, self-employed spouse, and a spouse who is going on the road to get out of this 2-horse town to make some money.
I'm not leaving Huntsville.
Hmm?
We're not leaving Huntsville.
Yeah. Well, I'm going over the road, right? I'm not working for somebody here in this town.
Yeah, today.
So, why are we doing this, or why are you letting me do this?
What kind of question is that?
Like, what is our why for getting out of debt?
Because the society is bonkers.
Society is bonkers. Words to live by.
And you see this hair?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. It looks ridiculous.
A little bit louder. I don't think they heard you on the camera.
I said this hair looks a little ridiculous.
So you want to be able to do nice things, quote unquote.
Now look at this hair. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Look at it. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me is changing the family tree for our kids. Both of us came from households where it was paycheck to paycheck, and we've gone.
Well, my
back
grandma
and,
was better than your mom.
Yeah.
My grandma saved money. She was a single parent. She raised my mom. She raised me, and I mean, she saved up to buy a house. She saved up to buy her car in cash. She does everything in cash. She's very smart with her money. My mom possibly just might bought her house, and she is almost 45.
Yeah.
And they don't have a small income. It's not like they're, working 3 jobs, barely can pay the money, they pay the rent. Like, Papa has a really good job. And my mom, she's been a CNA for a while now.
Mm.
And tell your parents about your parents' jobs. Or tell them about your parents' jobs.
So my father works in the IT field. He's a JDE and CNC administrator. And my mother, for the majority of her career, has been a homemaker. And yeah, I was just tired of not having money to go do stuff.
Yeah, but your parents don't have an excuse, so.
Yeah. And yeah. So, alternator goes out on the car. I'd rather it be an inconvenience rather than an emergency. Or, hey, I feel like going and taking a day trip with the kids to SeaWorld, because SeaWorld's about 4 hours from here. Things like that I can get to do. One of the things that we got to do this year for summer, because Kaylee had those high months, was the boys haven't spent a whole lot of time at home. They've been going from camp to camp to camp to camp. I didn't have that as a kid. I think when I was a teenager, I got lucky if I had one main event during the summer, which was youth camp, Christian youth camp. And that was about it. I didn't get to go to sleepaway camp after sleepaway camp. Our 6-year-old, and you'll find this out in a minute, he went to invention camp, and the microphone I'm going to use to interview them, they built that at invention camp. So it's things like that, giving the kids the opportunities that we didn't have, whether it's education or going to the happiest place on earth or going to, a tourist spot during the winter, whatever it is. That's our why. And Anthony O'Neill from the whole Ramsey Solutions deal, the why has to make you cry. And I think it does for us.
Yeah, for us, with us making that money in March and April and May, I think it was really important to us, especially when your parents dropped out from watching them in July, and we had to go into a full mode and make sure that they were taken care of over the summer. And the fact that both of them went to overnight camp. Well, Christopher goes to overnight camp in a week, or next Sunday. Yeah. This Sunday when he leaves. She's going to overnight camp. I never went to overnight camp until I moved to Texas with my grandma. I went to like certain camps for like Girl Scouts and stuff when I was younger, but they weren't like extensive. We went to things and did things in the other city for Girl Scouts, but I didn't really do any type of camp, like a Christian camp. I did do Ohio camp. I went to Ohio in 2012, and I went to a regular camp. No, I wanted to go to Ohio camp. I didn't get to go to Ohio camp in 2012. I wanted to go, but I didn't. I went to 4 different camps in Texas, though. I went to Palacios. We went up there, and we went to Shreveport, Louisiana. Yeah. We went up there, but it was like the city next to Shreveport. But those are the only camps I went to, and the only reason why I went to is because Brother James, he paid for all the people at camp to go to camp. The people that couldn't afford to go to camp, he paid for them to go to camp, so it wasn't a cost to us.
Yeah. All right, and with that, let's meet the rest of the family.
What's your name?
Jacob.
How old are you?
7.5.
And what do you think about Daddy going on the road to drive the big turkey?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You don't have any thoughts whatsoever?
No.
Well, that was boring.
And what is your name, little boy? CJ. And how old are you, CJ?
6.5.
And what do you think about Daddy driving the big toot-toot?
That you should, because you're going to be amazing.
Why is it going to be amazing?
Because we'll make a lot of money.
I'm going to make a lot of money. Mommy's going to enjoy me making a lot of money. But how is that your money?
Payday.
What?
Payday.
Payday? Who's payday?
We get paid for doing our chores.
Oh, you think you're going to get a raise on your chore chart?
Okay.
Are you going to miss me?
For like a million days.
That's a lot of days.
I know.
Guys, gals, and pals, that's it for this one. Remember, you can't change yesterday, but you can today and tomorrow. I am Cwispy, your host, and of course, you'll see me next time. People want to know, what do you think about me going on the road trucking?